Today, once again, we're here with Emmy Award-winning composer, Mr. Bill Conte. Welcome. It's nice to see you again.
So good to see you again.
So we'd like to know more about your experience of the One World of the Piece through music concert.
Well, it was a wonderful experience, of course, and it was regrettable that it was only to be done once. And I know that there was no plan to do it 2, 3, 4, or 5 times, but it was such a wonderful experience that I kind of wish that, why can't we do this tomorrow night? Or why can't we do this next week, or something like that? It was a memorable night. It really was. I've met people since then who were in the audience who stopped me and said, I was there that night and we had a good time, we had a wonderful time. So more than one person has mentioned that to me, which was always good to hear.
Yeah, it's more like a very historical, beautiful event, which we should have more of in our society and environment. How do you feel about Supreme Master's music and poetry?
Well, I love her poetry, and the very little that I know of her music I enjoyed, because I did work with one piece and prepare for the concert. It would be nice to do music and poetry in one place at one time, like on a CD or in a concert. I think it's worthy of that. I think the chemistry and the harmonies have to be right for something like that to come together, but it would be very exciting to do.
At the end of the event, you dedicated a song to Supreme Master and performed it. How was that, performing a piece with the person in the audience there with you?
Well, it was special. It made it special because it was thought about with that person in mind. And sometimes when you dedicate a piece, I know that I've done that. Even last week, I dedicated a piece during a concert to someone, but the person wasn't there. So when the person is there, you can actually do your very best to do the best performance of that dedication. And it was exciting.
Great, great. So what are your thoughts about Supreme Master Ching Hai now that you have met her?
Well, I've met her that one time, and I'm familiar with her associates. The ones that I know are just wonderful people and have been in and out of my house on occasions for one reason or another, and have enjoyed trying for sure. And every time that we've been together, it's been very harmonious. And a person like Sumu Ching Hai, who travels the world, I don't know where she spends most of her time, but it would be wonderful to spend some time with her. But I understand people like that are very busy and travel so much that they don't really get a chance to interact with everyone.
So that evening, the night that you performed the piece, did it come out like you expected it?
In your mind, there is the ideal way. There is the perfect way. There is the objective way rather than the subjective way. The subjective way is, of course, when you perform it that night and it becomes a fact. This is the way it was performed. So the closest you can get to the ideal, to the objective way, I remember there was the voices, the orchestra, and even the audience is a part of that ideal way, that objective way. Can you feel the audience receive this message? And in your mind, you think you can when you create the message to be given, which in this case was this rendition of a song, an arrangement of, and a presentation of. So I think it was very close, and that's what makes it satisfying when the orchestra, which was very good, and the singers, which were very good, and we were rehearsed, but you can't ever plan what the audience is going to feel at the time. You can imagine that, and you do. But with that audience, there would have had to be 6,000 people, something in that number, I believe. I'm not sure, but I know that the Shrine Auditorium seats 6,000 people, and it was more than full. I could feel the audience during the song, and that means that it was successful, as close to the ideal as it possibly could be. Because you would only imagine the audience. I know what the music was going to sound like, I knew what the words were going to sound like, but what was the reaction in the auditorium, which can be very electric, or not. You see, you can make a wonderful performance and have it kind of sit in the air and not receive the energy of the audience to materialize, not materialize, but this becomes something else in the auditorium. when the audience and the performers become one. It is almost almost nearly divine, where this oneness can actually meet in some, not location place, but in some spiritual place in the middle. Not the performers performing, not the audience receiving, but all of a sudden that contact is made and it becomes wonderful. So my recollection of it was just wonderful. I will forever love you. I will forever love you, right, that's right.
December of 1998.
December of 1998, yeah.
And I was astounded at that piece. It's so poetic, so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very much so.
I think it might be one of my most favorite songs ever.
It was very pretty, and I think that again, a performance is a one-time thing. When you hear Beethoven, and you say you hear a Beethoven symphony, or let's say you hear a piece of music by any performer that you like, what actually happens is that the soul of that performer, that extra special something, is alive at the time when that music is being played. If it's Beethoven, if it's any other person who's written any other piece of music, and when you hear it, that person, or that person's spiritual side, is in the room. And then the music stops, and there is a remnant, and it kind of leaves the room. Why? Because it stopped. It's gone. So when you have this magic of actually performing something and feeling that in the air, that person, even though the person is in the room physically at that time, when that song is being performed without the person in the room, she, in spirit, is still in the room, like Beethoven's in the room when you hear Beethoven's symphony. Something about his spirituality, his soul, is there. Why? Because he has given you insight. He has bared himself. He has not hidden anything in his music, as painters do, as sculptors do. Anyone who creates something like that, the ideal is to come from within and inside the person. And what is inside the person? Well, that's that spiritual place, that soul place, and bring it outside. Now, if it communicates to someone else, this is even better. But it's not the fault of the artist if the person doesn't receive it, because it is out there to be received. All you have to do is open up a little bit, and then you'll be experiencing a part of that person's soul.
Right.
It's just there. You're in the presence of a beautiful painting, a creation, something created by someone else. This is insight to not who they are physically, but who they are on this other plane.
Right.
So what makes it magic always is to hear music performed live, is better than a record of. And then when the person is still in the room at the same time, you can get an extra feeling, certainly an emotional feeling, because now you're experiencing it all. Your eyes will be looking at the person who wants you to receive the message, and then your inner part will be receiving the message too. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Absolutely.
No.
That, to me, that song is a classic. And the way it starts off slow, it just magically consumes you, and you're just like, so beautiful. Have you heard the CD that they put together, or seen the video of the?
Yes, I did, and you mentioned it was in '98, and I remember reviewing the video when it came in. And then, of course, what I do for most of the time is working with music and video. So it's many videos ago, but it's still very special.
Yeah, we're working on getting it. It's been starting to play on the radio, some songs, and we're very excited about that.
That's nice.
The concert, you gave a Supreme Master a bouquet of flowers. That was very, very sweet. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, now you're making an older man with a memory that is failing. I remember everyone being on stage, and all the flowers, and all the wonderful people who were there experiencing the end of a concert that went well and was received well, because it didn't necessarily have to go well from the performance, and it didn't necessarily have to go well from the receiving of the performance. But it seemed like one of those concerts that was so special because everything just went the way it was supposed to, and there was so much love and affection from everyone around, from the audience to everyone working backstage, that it was memorable.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So have you been creating a lot of new pieces?
Only in the project that's coming up for me. I write music, and sometimes I write by inspiration, and sometimes I write because I have a deadline.
Would you want to share with us once again how you came up with that poetic sound for I Will Forever Love You?
It is mostly anti-intellectual. In other words, I could tell you what I did intellectually, which wouldn't count. I mean, because when you say writing music for an orchestra and arranging music is something that you study and you learn how to do. But how do you actually bring the technique of writing the music to the paper is through your emotion, so that you read the lyric, listen to the music, and you react to that, but not intellectually. You have to feel it. And when you are a musician, of course, you will feel words and music. That's what you do. And then you use your technique to put it on paper so that everyone else can feel what you're feeling. It's like another language. It's if someone is speaking in French to French people, and then if Germans come in the room, then you must speak German to them. Well, when you're speaking the language of music, you're speaking the language of emotions, right? It's just another language, but it's the language of conveying emotions. So that you read the lyric, you listen to the music, and then you take that language that you understand as a musician and write it for other musicians so that they will understand it in the same way, emotionally, that you understood it. And then you hope that the audience will understand it in the same way also.
So what were you feeling when you were beginning that piece? Because I know when I listen to it, it's just takes you to such a realm of that longing and magic that you want.
Well, that longing and that magic is something that has to be conveyed into music. You see, I could feel the same magic and longing, and you know, I mean, longing is the greatest happiness when you think about it. Even the arrival of what you're longing for is the beginning of the end. The perfect happiness is the longing, because when you receive what you've been longing for, it's all over.
Wow.
Then you're on to something else. So I have to recapture that longing that, like you mentioned, that it was evoked by the music and the words, and you say, well, how do you convey that musically? Well, that's a technique. You have to understand your feelings and then convert it into the language.
Well, that's a genius that you have.
Well, at least it's all the studying of music to be able to know how to do that, because I could feel it and maybe inadequately put it onto music. I hope that I adequately put that longing into the music so that everyone in the audience could feel that same thing. What I felt.
Right.
It's all sparked from the words and the music, and you retain that and try to do your best to make it even better, if you possibly can, to pass that message on to other people.
So as you read the words, then you are interpreting the feeling and how it would come out into the music.
That's correct. Yeah, you have to feel it first, though.
So you are feeling that, and oh.
Well, yeah, you have to, because when I write a piece of music that is supposed to say what love is all about, I have to only experience love from my point of view.
Right.
But because you're human, you felt love. Just like if you said you had a headache last night, I would say, oh, I understand. I don't have to have a headache. Why? Because I'm human. I've had a headache in the past. So when I write music to fall in love, it's because I've fallen in love. I've been in love. And I can express it in music. And then you hopefully will feel the same thing, the same way with the song that was written. All those things that she felt when she wrote that come out to everyone. And all I have to do is not forget those feelings, but interpret them musically.
Right.
Yeah, people outwardly will do other things. Some people will cry, some people will have feelings in their body. But I have to create those feelings in the person's body musically, which is a technique. That's the intellectual part. That's the easy part.
When you were a child, did you always interpret that way? Was that a gift?
Well, music, yes. My family is a musical family. My father and my grandfather are all musicians, and that's all we ever did. And therefore, it was not special in the sense, it was just the way one reacted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It also becomes a burden, if you can think of it that way, that someone who knows what the ideal should be can't stop until they find the ideal. And sometimes there's not enough time, sometimes there's not enough resources, so you do stop short of it. But that is the burden of trying to get that ideal, objective performance.
Right.
Which in the case of the concert came off near perfectly. If I could meet or have the pleasure to be with Suma Ching Hai, I would tell her how the experience that I had was so wonderful, and what she's giving to other people is so wonderful, that I would have to ask her to take care of herself, to wish her health and happiness I know that she has, but to take care that she can continue doing the good work that she's been doing, and to expose herself to as many people as need her exposure. And in her travels, to just fly safe and be very careful and healthful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kante,
You're
for
welcome.
being with us.